Welcome everybody from Baselworld 2018. I'm Alexander Linz, head of content of WatchAdvisor.com, the largest search engine for wristwatches and official retailers on the net. And I'm at the booth of Chanel Horlogerie, and with me is Nicolas Beau, who is the CEO of Chanel Watches.
I'm in charge of watches and fine jewelry.
In charge of watches and fine jewelry.
In Basel.
In Basel. Very good. Nicolas, Chanel is quite busy in doing own movements, creation, so you're really taking the business very serious. The watches, the objects you have been presenting the last years are simply amazing. Whatever you do is amazing. This year you're presenting your third in-house movement. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for your appreciation. 10 years ago, we started to develop our own movements, and 10 years later, we are coming with our third Calibre. The first movement was designed purely for men. The second Calibre was designed purely for women. And in fact, that third Calibre is a bit in between, in the sense that it has been developed for the Boyfriend collection. The Boyfriend collection is a watch which has a very special which is taking the masculine codes and making a feminine watch with it. So we had the difficulty was to create a movement which would be for women, but stealing some of those masculine movement codes.
Oh, it's interesting. What is a masculine movement code?
I think men do love mechanics.
Okay.
They love to see the components. They love to see those wheels working together. Yeah. Whereas women are more interested by the beauty of the movement. So in fact, the idea of the Calibre 3 is to mix the two together, meaning that the wheels are there, but they remain discrete. So if you really want to see them, you can, but if you look at the watch on your wrist, you just barely see them.
So what was the trick?
Well, to make the wheels black and to make the wheel totally full. As you may know, most of the wheels in watch movements are open work.
Yeah.
And that's because of weight. Yeah. And that's also because of it's the tradition. So we kind of broke the tradition by making those wheels completely plain and completely black. So they are there, but they tend to mix each other and disappear.
But in case you want to see them moving, they're moving, because it's a mechanical wristwatch.
Absolutely. They're moving very well, and you just need to flip the watch around, and you will have a clear visibility.
You have been putting them in line, so it's a really...
Yes, because we wanted to... It's a rectangular movement for a rectangular watch, so we wanted to have this impression of the movement floating inside the case. So we decided to make a line of the gear train is straight. So on the right and left of the movement, you can see through.
Yeah. The last years you have been presenting a lot of artistic wristwatches where you have been taking out, let's say, craftsmanships, amazing craftsmanships. This year, first time at Chanel, I see kind of table clocks or table objects.
Yes.
Inspiration taken from...
In fact, very, very often taken from the Gabrielle Chanel patrimony. For a few years, for each high jewelry collection, we used to make one object linked to the theme of that collection. Mm-hmm. But those objects, for example, this year we made a beautiful lion in gold with his pawn on a globe with a little clock inside, but a quartz clock. And we were somehow missing the noise of a mechanical movement in a table clock. So we decided to move forward and to create, thanks to the L'Épée company, who is doing some amazing clock movements, to create some table clock. I don't know how to call them.
One object. I would say it's object exactly. Showing the time.
Exactly. Yeah. And one is my favorite, which is called Chronosphere, which is in fact in Gabrielle Chanel's apartment. There is a very beautiful object with 4 lions holding a crystal ball. And so we decided to use the crystal ball to locate a very beautiful movement and to read time within that crystal ball.
But it's completely a mechanical movement. You have to wind it.
Yes, you have to wind it.
I suppose.
You have a key. You have 8 days. Once you have 8 days of power. The key is quite interesting because the key is a reproduction of the key that she was using for her personal desk.
Okay.
So there is really that clocks is a mixture of innovation and inspiration from her apartment.
Yeah. Is it a unique piece or is
it's
it?
a unique. No, sorry. It's limited to 5 pieces.
Okay.
So
price-wise.
Price-wise, in the 250,000 euro.
Pretty exclusive.
Pretty exclusive. Well,
yeah, but
most of the components are in gold.
Yeah. So it's really it's an object of art, telling time and
completely. Which has something great personally that I love is that you will listen and hear the tic tac.
Yeah.
While you will be in your home.
Yeah, when it's quiet, you will hear that. It's very down to earth when you hear that tic tac.
Yeah.
You know, it's relaxing. No phones, nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Beside this, there is a new piece that is both jewelry and a watch, so you can wear it as you like, as a bracelet or watch.
Yeah,
it will show time.
It's showing time.
Yeah.
But not only. In fact,
how is it called?
Well, it's called Coco.
Coco.
30 years ago, Chanel did its first watch dedicated to women. And 30 years later, which was actually last year, we thought, okay, how could we show that 30 years later, what's our vision of a truly 100% feminine watch? And this is how the Code Coco was born. And if you look at women today, they are stacking bracelets with their watches, with all sorts of bracelets around the wrist. So the idea really was to merge and mix this idea of a watch, which is at the same time a bracelet that you can mix and match with all sorts of jewelry.
But you are taking some space on the wrist for other companies.
Absolutely.
because women, if they tend to have their bracelets and the watch, so if they have now all in one, they have to take away some of their.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll find a solution. They are very creative.
Yeah, I'm sure. And last but not least, as always, J12, your legendary collection of ceramic watches. Yeah. There is a new playing around with figures from 1 to 12.
Yes,
something exceptional again.
In J12, J12 for us was also the way to express the fact we master ceramic technology, and we have made some movements in ceramic. We've made some components in ceramic. We've made many things in ceramic. The only thing we didn't do yet was marquetry with ceramic.
Can you explain what marquetry is for those who don't know?
Marquetry is most of the marquetry that you know is made of wood, in those very fine furnitures, where with different pieces of wood you recreate like a mosaic, a theme. So we thought we should do that with ceramic. Although ceramic, unlike wood, is extremely strong, extremely tough. It's close to diamond in terms of hardness. So to do marquetry, which means to very finely cutting some very small components in ceramic, we needed to use guess what? Water. Because the only way we found to cut some very tiny piece in ceramic without breaking it was to use a kind of laser of water, which in fact can cut virtually anything.
At what pressure? Some thousands of bars?
Thousands of bars.
I imagine, yeah.
And you see those very, very tiny pieces of ceramic with this line of water, which is actually cutting like a laser beam almost.
Okay.
Those tiny pieces of ceramic, which are then assembled by hand to recreate numerals.
Okay. There's a limited edition of 12 pieces showing the numbers 1 to 12 on the die?
12, exactly.
And this you have to buy all of them at once?
No,
or you can...
in fact we're going to do something which we've never done before. We're going to inform our best customer, our best clients in the month of May, and they will have 2 days to purchase them online.
Either one to 12?
One of the 12.
Okay, or all of them?
If somebody wants to buy all of them, he or she can.
Okay, and there is of course one piece dedicated to a bigger audience, because if you are only making a one shot of 12 pieces, that wouldn't be worth doing it. So there's one piece you showed me just before.
Well, we were so pleased with the result of that marquetry of ceramic that we thought we should do a more accessible version, so to speak, because the marquetry is extremely costly. The watches will be 35,000 euros. So we thought we should do something at a more accessible price, and therefore we did on a classical way something which looks like a marquetry but is it's purely a printing. But the arty style of this watch is quite interesting. So it's a really new look for the J12, limited edition to 1,200 pieces.
Let me ask you something. There are so many colorful trends in the watch industry. I know Chanel is black and white, I know. But is there, let's say, can you resist of not doing someday a watch that is not black or white or gray?
But we would do any color as long as it's black.
This was the best answer you could have given me.
No, but we can more seriously. Black and white, of course, is not only some colors which are so very important for Chanel, but also some colors that are really passing over time.
Yeah, of course.
Colors are.
But it's difficult to resist because the industry is going to blue, into green, into orange, and.
But we do that. We have a few blue dials.
Yeah.
We're just launching on the Boyfriend a very nice collection of colored strap for summer. But it's true that we tend to be black and white.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nicolas, for presenting me those special watches. As always, I'm very fascinated of how you can bring haute couture into haute horlogerie. That's what you're doing, I think. It's haute couture to haute horlogerie.
Well, we are bringing our difference, our know-how, the fact that we are, of course, influenced by haute couture, influenced by the tradition of watchmaking, and we're trying to merge the two to make something that only Chanel can offer.
Thank you very much. Nicolas Beau from Chanel.
Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and, of course, to like our videos.